Right, we're back with the next target that our top groups will reach. 25 yards, 30 centimetre face, full face, 13 degrees down. Still some issues, should be fairly straightforward, but still some issues with light and dark as they shoot down towards the lake, having seen them just shoot up from the bridge.
I'm now down at the target of the 12th shot of this course. As you can see, it's another picturesque one. Not too many frights in it for the archers though, apart from maybe some steep footing at the top. Still, what another lovely shot on a rather beautiful field course.
Right, and Ivana slightly further up the hill, and Gladys on the right of your screen. They come into this all square for the weekend again.
Is anyone to play for? It's quite an exciting little contest, this one.
Yes. I think that probably Camilla is now dropped too far back to be, and is really actually playing a sort of defensive game against Anne Lante. Yes, I'm not exactly certain who I'd like to win this if I was impartial.
Doesn't matter who you'd like. Who's your money on?
That's my point. Yes, no, it wasn't a question of which I would prefer to. I don't know who I would actually predict.
You can't say one is sort of has a better track record than the other or is more professional. There's literally nothing between them, is there?
I'm going Ivana.
I'm going to go Ivana because this year Gladys has shown weakness in her technique, and I don't think she's had enough time to get that right. Yes, she has changed release date, etc. But if it does get a little bit tight and a little bit pressurised,
Ivana Boudin, woman of steel.
I think she may struggle. But, and you can crucify me for this, she's a better field archer than Ivana. So if it was just purely on craft and technique, and towards the end of this round it might well be.
But we've seen Gladys win so many of these, and for me it's simply a case of I know Gladys better than I know Ivana, and I would never ever bet against Gladys.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see towards the end, the targets they're going to shoot at the end, whether that technique is really finished. It's a lot better. It's massively better. More solid, less movement, less flinch.
A bottle of Palom on it, perhaps, Ray?
Do I get odds?
Well, no, it's just a sporting bet, isn't it, really? I'm not Betfred. Bet Tim.
That's good X.
Yes, I'll take that now.
All right.
That was Ivana shooting them in the middle, So
I did notice that, Alistair.
No, I mean, Gladys, both of these girls are interested in finishing first here, are interested in, obviously, the prize money, and are also interested in which one of them is the highest ranked on the series, who takes the number one spot, basically. Whichever one of them wins becomes number one. Now then, Cousin's still looking... Oh, it's a bit...
He's looking more relaxed now, isn't he?
I wouldn't go that... I wouldn't go that far. I think he's getting a little bit more... If by relaxed, you mean a little bit more comfortable with the points.
I think he knows this in the bag. He doesn't miss these. When he gets 1 point in front, then you're not going to catch him because he doesn't make mistakes.
Trullis looks a little unhappy, but they've both got X's.
I'd be very unhappy with that X. It's not bang on the middle.
His is the closer of the beasts.
I know.
Yeah, in Mullenborn, his issue was he just ran out of steam at the end of each day. Well, this has been a very tough 2 days. Do you think we'll see him run out of steam on this one?
Well, he was saying in one of the sort of chats that I've had with people as I've gone round that he realised that in Mullenborn it was his fitness that let him down rather than his technique, and he's taken steps to put that right. That is to say, he's been doing some mountain biking and whatnot, and so he says that in his mind, at least, he's much better than he was in Mullenborn, and I reckon he'll just keep plugging away today because this course is not as demanding.
Well, I know all about your mind making promises the body can't keep at a certain age, and it'll be interesting to see if he's as fresh at the end of today as he was starting it.
I know that Dietmar is only interested in shooting what he can shoot, and in being happy that he shot as well as he could shoot within the parameters that we can all shoot a little bit better. And if that happens to mean that he wins at the end of the day, then that's fine. If Cousins beats him, that's not going to detract from his day. I find it very difficult to believe exactly how many people this morning with a 1 point difference were just straightforwardly going, this is Dave's tournament. I know he's been superb, but look at him, he's every little bit about his body language, and at the moment it's a fairly self-assured body language, but every bit of it is just not focused on the job. It is showmanship, it is, you know, there's a little bit more shaking of the head, there's a little bit more flouncing, a little bit more swearing.
3 X's though, 3 X's. Who do you reckon, Dave, Dietmar or Liam?
I don't think Liam can get there.
Dave or Dietmar then? You got to say.
Shoot off.
Shoot
Dietmar
off
versus Dave.
No
I wouldn't like to
chance.
call it.
Wow.
Right. And Lante's not had the greatest day of her life. Although, well, yesterday wasn't that good. Today she comes into this target. She shot 130 coming in. Ivana's on 131 and Gladys on 132. So she should be a lot happier with what she's doing today over yesterday, but I get the impression that she's not
Didn't need
happy
to do
overall
that.
over the weekend. No, on this target she didn't. And
She's changed her hat, Alistair. That's probably what it is.
yeah, can you guess who that is? Yes, good X.
A very stylish X, wasn't it?
Shoots the PSE, shoots it stunningly well. He used to be a Matthews shooter. I mean, again, Ivana and Camilla were both Matthews shooters for a long time. Ivana chose to go to Hoyt, and Camilla chose to go with the PSE.
Would it be fair to say there's been an exodus from Matthews in the ladies' game? Still a strong company for the men's tournament, though.
Yes, it would. Oh, that's out again. Now that's an
Overcompensation.
I think
Could
she
be.
just didn't shoot it very well.
I think next year Camilla might well be the lady archer to watch. She's impressing me more and more as this tournament goes on.
I have to say that she came into this rather like going to a couple of the American tournaments, mainly because she was talked into it, to be fair. She thought of herself at the start of this year as purely a target archer, only a target archer. We were talking to her last night, and she was going, she's in no rush to go back and shoot 50 metres at FITA competition as a target. So that's pleasing. She's enjoyed these, that's better. But dropping 2 there has got to hurt. That takes her...
No one else has dropped points on that target.
Yeah, that takes her right back and makes Camilla breathe again. It gives Camilla breathing space. They're like a little posse coming over the hill, aren't they?
So anyway, we were saying before, Dave and Dietmar are going to be in a shoot-off, you reckon, for first place. And who did you say was going to win?
I didn't.
Come on, let's have it. They all edge their bets all the time. We're going to put names to it now. Ray, who's going to win?
Dave.
Alistair?
Dietmar.
I'm going for Dave. What do you reckon at home, folks? Let us know on the Facebook page.
Now, Liam, for my money, shot superbly yesterday, and it was a really solid round. He may feel he dropped a couple of silly shots in the second half of the day, and I think today he's been pretty impressive. It's a fairly standard Duncan Busby shot, technique-wise.
I think Duncan's done himself proud this weekend. He yesterday he was full of sort of modesty, and yes, it was lucky, and I would just enjoy the day, blah blah. But he's held it together today, and I think he's doing superbly well.
Yeah, I mean, other people have found coming into this, other target archers have found, I can think of one in particular, that coming into if you make the top target on one of these field events, you do get a little shown up, and I take nothing away from what Duncan's done, but you get a little shown up by how good at field the other guys on the top target are. So there you have, Duncan by this point has dropped 5 points when Cousins and Liam have only dropped 3 and Dietmar's dropped 4, and it's uniquely respectable, but it just shows up a little. Once you put somebody in that sort of class in amongst those guys, it's going to show up a little bit about what they do. Not to take anything away from what Duncan's done. As I say, Dave and Liam have dropped the fewest points at this point in the round. And when you look at that scoreboard, leaderboard, yeah, I mean, Liam's only sitting a point behind Dietmar. I just don't see it. I think he probably better take third place. Chris needs to pull away from Slavko in the targets he has left. And Duncan went, if I finish in the top 10, I can't, he said he'd be stoked. I don't know what that means. The youth of today use this.
I think it's a word similar to bants, which is to say he'd be happy with it.
Excellent. Ivana and Gladys, I think that's going to go all the way down. We've never had a shoot-off. I'd love there to be a shoot-off in one of these events.